That jarring alarm isn't just a sound, it's a daily judgment. But what if your very first thought, before you even hit snooze, already dictated your entire reality? Today, you'll uncover a counterintuitive 10-minute adjustment that can rewire your entire day. Not tomorrow, but starting right now. You'll see the subtle, yet powerful difference between merely wishing for a better day and actually designing one, and how this shift creates a ripple effect far beyond your own schedule. This isn't about more willpower, it's about a different kind of thought. Before we dive into that practical shift, if you're ready to stop just reacting and start creating, make sure you subscribe to Zig Ziglar Success Principles right now and tap that bell. You don't want to miss the most important turning point in this conversation, coming up in just a few minutes. And please, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this content matters, ensuring it doesn't get buried when you might need it most. Click and come back, because the practical part begins in seconds. Most people wake up to the alarm blaring, a jarring intrusion into the fragile peace of dawn, and immediately hit snooze. That's not a choice, it's a reaction. You're not alone in this relentless cycle, this quiet desperation where the day feels lost before it even begins. You're letting the world dictate your first move, and that single reactive thought sets the tone for everything that follows. It's not about how strong your willpower is. It's about understanding that direction always comes before action. Without a clear path, even the fastest sprint leads nowhere. Here's a mini protocol to reclaim your morning thought. First, before your feet hit the floor, name one thing you're grateful for. Second, visualize just one small, achievable win for the day ahead. Third, mentally commit to the first tiny step towards that win. For example, a busy parent I know used to wake up overwhelmed by the kids' breakfast chaos. Now, before getting out of bed, she thinks, "I'm grateful for my family. Today, I'll ensure everyone has a healthy snack. My first step is prepping fruit while the coffee brews." This isn't a grand plan. It's a micro-commitment. Decide your one defining thought for tomorrow tonight. It's a small internal shift, but it's the foundation for everything else. This clarity, this intentionality, is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Then, you probably open your planner, or maybe a mental list filled with tasks. You have a dozen things to do, and you tell yourself, "I'll get to them." But a list, no matter how long, is just a collection of wishes. The common error here is mistaking intention for execution. You think you've planned, but you've only brainstormed, and if it's not concretely assigned a time, if it's not on the agenda, it simply doesn't exist. It floats in a sea of good intentions, never touching solid ground. The reframing here is crucial. It's not about having more ideas, it's about making one idea non-negotiable. Here's how to turn intention into action. First, identify your single most important task for the day. Second, block out a specific, uninterrupted time slot for it. Third, protect that time fiercely, as if it were a high-stakes meeting. Imagine a freelance designer who used to spend hours sifting through emails, feeling productive, but never finishing client work. Now, the first hour of his day is blocked for deep work, client project alpha, no emails allowed. He knows his top priority. Choose one non-negotiable task for tomorrow and schedule it into your calendar right now. This simple act is how you start to swap snooze for strategy. But even with your most important task scheduled, there's a common pitfall: the illusion of constant availability. You believe you're being productive by juggling emails, texts, and a dozen browser tabs, always ready to respond. This isn't efficiency, it's mental fragmentation. You're not doing more. You're doing less of what truly matters, because your brain never gets a chance to truly engage. This isn't about being busy. It's about being effective. The reframing here is profound. It's not about how many balls you can keep in the air. It's about how many you can land with precision. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Here's a simple protocol to protect it. First, define clear. uninterrupted focus blocks for your priority tasks. Second, proactively eliminate all distractions. Turn off notifications, close irrelevant tabs, silence your phone. Third, commit to single tasking during these blocks, giving one thing your full, undivided attention. Think of a marketing professional in Chicago who used to feel overwhelmed by constant Slack pings and client calls. Now, he blocks 90 minutes each morning for creative strategy, putting his phone in another room and using a Do Not Disturb sign. He finishes high-quality work in a fraction of the time. For tomorrow, block out just 30 minutes for one task, and for that half hour, turn off every single notification. This is how you reclaim your focus, allowing you to discover your natural rhythm. Because here's another common misstep: ignoring your body's natural energy cycles. You push through tasks at 3 p.m. with the same expectation as 9 a.m., even when your brain feels like sludge. You assume willpower alone can overcome fatigue, leading to burnout and mediocre results. It's not about working harder or longer. It's about working smarter, in harmony with your biological design. The real insight is this: your energy isn't constant. It ebbs and flows throughout the day. It's not about having endless stamina. It's about leveraging your peak performance windows. To align with your natural rhythm, first, for the next 3 days, quietly observe when you feel most alert and creative, and when you feel a dip. Second, schedule your most demanding, high-concentration tasks during those peak energy hours. Third, plan short, restorative breaks during your natural dips to recharge, not just push through. Consider a writer in Seattle who used to force himself to write late into the night. After observing his energy, he realized his best creative output was between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. Now he dedicates those hours exclusively to writing, and his work quality soared. Starting tomorrow, notice your energy peaks and troughs. Then, for just 1 hour, align your most important task with your highest energy. This self-awareness is a powerful tool, leading to a deeper understanding of what truly drives you. And that brings us to a critical turning point that most people completely miss. You've probably been told that success is about finding the right system, the perfect app, or the latest productivity hack. You're always searching for an external solution, a magic bullet that will fix your internal struggles. You think if you just find the right method, everything will click into place. But this is the fundamental misunderstanding, the invisible barrier that keeps you stuck. It's not about the external tools you use. It's about the internal thought you cultivate. It's not about what you do to your day. It's about how you think about your day before it even begins. The real game changer isn't a new strategy you implement. It's a new mindset you embody. It's the shift from reacting to circumstances to intentionally shaping your internal landscape. This isn't just a different path, it's a different starting line altogether. If you're finding value in these insights, if you're ready to stop chasing external fixes and start cultivating that powerful internal thought, then there's a practical step you can take right now. I've put together a simple one-page checklist that distills these principles into actionable steps you can use today. To get it, just type Reality Shift in the comments below. As soon as you comment, it unlocks access to that checklist in the pinned comment. And while you're there, hit the like button to solidify this commitment to yourself. This isn't just for the algorithm. It's a public declaration of your intent. This inner shift, this commitment, is what allows you to truly master your time. Because without this internal alignment, you'll find yourself constantly battling resistance, even with the best plans. You'll fall back into old patterns, not because you lack discipline, but because your foundational thought hasn't truly changed. You might be planning your days, but are you truly designing them? Are you ensuring that your first thought is one of purpose or one of dread? This distinction changes everything. You're not just planning your days. You're often approaching them like a reactive battleground, constantly putting out fires, instead of building something meaningful. You fill your calendar with tasks, but without designing for a specific feeling or outcome. You're letting the day happen to you, driven by external demands and the tyranny of the urgent. It's not about how many items you check off a list. It's about the quality of the moments you create and the direction you give to your entire day. Your day isn't just a series of isolated events. It's a carefully constructed narrative, and you are its architect. You must define the destination before you start the journey. Here's how to design your day intentionally. First, before your feet hit the floor, name the single most important feeling or outcome you want from this day. Second, identify just one or two key actions that guarantee that feeling or outcome. Third, schedule those actions first, protecting them as sacred appointments with yourself. Imagine Sarah, a busy marketing manager in Atlanta. Her old routine was to dive straight into emails, feeling overwhelmed by client requests. Now she starts by thinking, "Today I want to feel focused and impactful." She then blocks 45 minutes for her highest priority project, a strategic campaign launch, before checking a single email. She's not just doing tasks. She's designing her day to be one of strategic progress and calm. For tomorrow, before you even open your calendar, decide what feeling you want to cultivate. This intentional design reveals a profound truth. Your time isn't just a commodity to be spent. It's a canvas for your intention, leading us to understand how we often sabotage ourselves with false urgency. Because you probably confuse speed with progress. You rush from one thing to the next, convinced that doing things quickly means doing them well. You mistake constant activity for genuine productivity, believing that if you're not busy, you're not achieving. But true progress isn't about how fast you move. It's about moving deliberately in the right direction. Velocity without direction is just frantic motion. It's not about working faster, it's about working smarter on the right things. To embrace deliberate action, first, identify one task you tend to rush through without full attention. Second, commit to approaching it with deliberate slowness and full presence. Third, notice the difference in quality and your own mental state. John, a software developer in Silicon Valley, used to jump between coding tasks, always feeling behind. Now, for his most complex feature, he dedicates 20 minutes to simply thinking about the problem before writing a single line of code. He builds better solutions and feels less stressed. Tomorrow, pick one task and commit to doing it with deliberate focus, not speed. This mindset of deliberate action helps you understand that some of your most precious time is actually being stolen by tiny, insidious distractions. You allow tiny, seemingly insignificant interruptions, a notification, a quick check of social media, a just 5 minutes email response, to steal your most valuable resource, your focused attention. You believe these small breaks are harmless or even necessary, but they accumulate into massive time drains. These aren't just minor interruptions. They are attention vampires that fragment your day and prevent deep work. It's not about being perfectly disciplined all the time. It's about building protective walls around your most important work. Your focus is a muscle. Constant interruptions weaken it. Here's a simple protocol to protect it. First, designate 30-minute focus sprints for critical tasks. Second, during these sprints, put your phone on airplane mode and close all non-essential browser tabs. Third, resist the urge to just check anything until the sprint is complete. Maria, a financial analyst in New York City, used to constantly switch between spreadsheets and her newsfeed. She realized these tiny checks broke her concentration. Now, she uses a timer for 30-minute deep work blocks and only then allows a 5-minute break for quick checks. Her accuracy and speed improve dramatically. For your next important task, set a 25-minute timer and eliminate all digital distractions until it rings. By mastering these small moments of focus, you begin to see how much control you truly have, and how easily you can transform the mundane into the meaningful. Because you often start your day reacting to what happens, rather than proactively preparing for what might happen. You leave crucial decisions until the last minute, creating unnecessary stress and often making suboptimal choices. You wait for problems to arise instead of preventing them. The most successful people don't just react to their day, they anticipate it. It's not about having a crystal ball. It's about intentionally designing your environment and your mindset to navigate challenges with grace. Proactive preparation isn't a luxury, it's a strategic advantage. To prepare proactively. First, before you end your workday, identify one potential challenge or decision for tomorrow. Second, spend 5 minutes mentally rehearsing how you'll respond or make that decision calmly. Third, prepare any necessary tools or information tonight. David, a project manager in Chicago, used to dread Monday mornings, often scrambling to prepare for his team meeting. Now, on Friday afternoon, he spends 10 minutes outlining the meeting agenda and his key talking points. He arrives Monday feeling prepared, not panicked, and his team notices the difference. Tonight, before you go to bed, mentally prepare for one specific interaction or task tomorrow. This practice of anticipating and preparing is how you truly take ownership of your future, transforming uncertainty into confidence, and it leads us to question how we define success itself. You probably define success by how busy you are, how many tasks you check off, or the external validation you receive. You chase fleeting achievements, feeling a constant need to prove yourself, but often, despite the wins, there's an underlying emptiness. You confuse constant activity with genuine impact, believing that a full schedule equals a full life. This isn't success. It's a treadmill, and it keeps you running without a true destination. The reframing here is vital. It's not about the quantity of your output. It's about the quality of your contribution and the alignment of your actions with your deepest values. True success isn't a destination to be reached. It's the consistent embodiment of your purpose, a steady ripple effect. Here's a mini protocol to redefine your personal success. First, identify your top 3 core values, what truly matters to you. Second, for 1 week, quietly track how many of your daily actions genuinely align with those values. Third, consciously adjust just one daily action to better reflect a core value. Imagine a CEO in Texas who used to measure his success solely by quarterly profits and market share, feeling constantly stressed and unfulfilled. He realized his core value was meaningful leadership. Now, he dedicates 1 hour each week specifically to mentoring junior staff, seeing their growth and the positive team culture as a truer, more profound measure of his success. For tomorrow, choose one action that truly embodies a value you hold dear and commit to it. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about building a legacy, piece by piece, and understanding that true contribution comes from a deeper place. Because you often paralyze yourself by waiting for the perfect moment or fearing failure. You believe every step must be flawless, every decision fully optimized, or you avoid taking it at all. This relentless pursuit of perfection keeps you from starting, keeps you stuck in the planning phase, and ultimately keeps you from experiencing the growth that only comes from action. It's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about embracing the journey. The real insight is this. It's not about achieving perfection. It's about embracing consistent, imperfect action. Progress isn't linear, pristine, or without detours. It's a series of small, deliberate adjustments, learning from every attempt and simply moving forward. Your goal isn't flawlessness, it's momentum. To embrace imperfect action, first, identify one small project you've been procrastinating on due to fear of not getting it right. Second, commit to taking one imperfect step toward it tomorrow for just 15 minutes. Third, celebrate that single step, regardless of the immediate outcome. Consider a young entrepreneur in Austin who dreamt of launching an online course, but was terrified of poor reviews and technical glitches. He finally decided to record just one module, knowing it wouldn't be perfect, but it was a start. That small, imperfect beginning led to the full course, which, despite minor flaws, went on to help hundreds of people. For tomorrow, pick one imperfect action you can take to move a stalled project forward, even if it's just outlining the first paragraph or making one phone call. This consistent, deliberate action, even when imperfect, forms the backbone of the identity you're building, and it's how you start to silence the inner critic that holds you back. You probably also fall into the trap of believing that the more you do, the more valuable you become. You say yes to every request, fill every minute of your day, and spread yourself thin across countless commitments. You believe that being constantly busy signals your importance, but in reality, it dilutes your impact and drains your most precious resource, your focused energy. This isn't about being a team player. It's about being a strategic contributor. The reframing here is powerful. It's not about how many things you commit to. It's about the depth and quality of the few things you truly own. Saying no isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of strategic clarity, protecting your capacity for what truly matters. To master strategic no, first, before agreeing to any new request, pause for 5 seconds and ask yourself if it aligns with your top 3 priorities for the week. Second, if it doesn't align, politely decline or offer an alternative that does fit your focus. Third, practice this once a day for the next 3 days. Think of a community leader in Denver who used to chair every committee and attend every event, feeling perpetually exhausted and ineffective. She learned to say, "My plate is full this month, but I can contribute meaningfully to specific aligned task next quarter." This allowed her to focus on high-impact projects and actually get them done, rather than just attending meetings. Tomorrow, identify one request you can politely decline or defer, freeing up space for your true priorities. This discipline of saying no to the good so you can say yes to the great is how you truly swap snooze for strategy in your commitments. It's how you ensure your actions are always in service of your deepest purpose. You probably also fall into the trap of believing that the more you do, the more valuable you become. You say yes to every request, fill every minute of your day, and spread yourself thin across countless commitments. You believe that being constantly busy signals your importance, but in reality, it dilutes your impact and drains your most precious resource, your focused energy. This isn't about being a team player. It's about being a strategic contributor. The reframing here is powerful. It's not about how many things you commit to. It's about the depth and quality of the few things you truly own. Saying no isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of strategic clarity, protecting your capacity for what truly matters. To master strategic no, first, before agreeing to any new request, pause for 5 seconds and ask yourself if it aligns with your top 3 priorities for the week. Second, if it doesn't align, politely decline or offer an alternative that does fit your focus. Third, practice this once a day for the next 3 days. Think of a community leader in Denver who used to chair every committee and attend every event, feeling perpetually exhausted and ineffective. She learned to say, "My plate is full this month, but I can contribute meaningfully to specific aligned task next quarter." This allowed her to focus on high-impact projects and actually get them done, rather than just attending meetings. Tomorrow, identify one request you can politely decline or defer, freeing up space for your true priorities. This discipline of saying no to the good so you can say yes to the great is how you truly swap snooze for strategy in your commitments. It's how you ensure your actions are always in service of your deepest purpose. But here's another subtle pitfall. You often confuse immediate gratification with lasting fulfillment. You chase quick wins, the instant dopamine hit of a completed task, without connecting it to a larger, more meaningful vision. You're building, yes, but are you building the right thing? Are you climbing the ladder of success only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall? This isn't about doing, it's about becoming. The profound reframing is this. It's not about the tasks you check off today. It's about the identity you forge for tomorrow. It's not about the fleeting satisfaction of a busy schedule. It's about the quiet confidence of a life intentionally designed. Your actions today are votes for the person you are becoming. Here's a mini protocol to align your daily actions with your future self. First, dedicate 10 minutes each Sunday evening to vividly visualize your ideal self 1 year from now. What does that person do, feel, achieve? Second, identify just one small habit you can start this week that your future self would thank you for. Third, commit to practicing that habit daily, no matter how tiny, for the next 7 days. Imagine a young architect in Portland who used to spend evenings scrolling through social media. He envisioned his future self as a published thought leader. Now, he dedicates 15 minutes each night to reading industry articles or sketching new concepts. That small, consistent action is building his legacy, one thoughtful moment at a time. This week, connect with your future self for just 10 minutes. That clarity will reveal how often you're unknowingly sabotaging your own progress, chasing speed instead of significance. And this brings us to a second, even more critical turning point that most people completely miss. A truth that, once understood, will redefine everything. You've been told that if you just work harder, faster, or longer, you'll eventually get there. You believe that more effort automatically equals more output, that sheer velocity is the key to unlocking your goals. You constantly push, convinced that the sheer force of your activity will break through any barrier. But this is the ultimate illusion. The invisible trap that keeps so many intelligent, driven individuals stuck on a treadmill, perpetually exhausted and subtly unfulfilled. Because velocity without direction doesn't just delay, it ensures you never arrive. It's like speeding down a highway in the wrong direction, burning fuel, expending energy, but getting further and further from your true destination. The real power isn't in your speed. It's in the precision of your aim and the intentional design of your journey. It's not about doing things quickly. It's about doing the right things deliberately and with profound purpose. The thought you cultivate, the priorities you set, and the way you design your time are the true levers of achievement. They don't just optimize your schedule, they fundamentally alter your trajectory, transforming what feels like a constant struggle into a steady, inevitable ascent. You're not just managing tasks, you're orchestrating outcomes, shaping your reality with every intentional choice. This isn't just a different way to work, it's a different way to live, a different way to think about your entire existence. The challenge isn't to achieve perfection overnight, but to embrace intentionality today. This is how you stop reacting and start truly creating. And it's a commitment that changes everything. This isn't just about tweaking your schedule. It's about transforming the very lens through which you see your life. Imagine yourself not just reacting to life's demands, but responding with a calm, focused urgency. This isn't a temporary fix or a fleeting burst of motivation. It's the foundation of a new identity. You're moving from a life where the alarm dictates your day to one where your purpose pulls you forward. This profound internal shift, transforming the very thought that defines your reality, is the catalyst for consistent, meaningful achievement. It's about embodying the very best version of yourself, not for external validation, but for the quiet satisfaction of knowing you're living intentionally. This journey appeals to the nobler motives within you, the desire to provide, to inspire, to contribute meaningfully to the world around you, creating a ripple effect on those you love. You're choosing to cultivate that single thought that defines your reality, shifting it from reactive dread to proactive purpose. This is the difference between merely existing and truly living. So how do you put this into practice, starting right now? How do you take these subtle yet powerful shifts and weave them into the fabric of your next 24 hours? Let's map out your day, not as a rigid schedule, but as an intentional design, a commitment to yourself. Tonight, just before you close your eyes, identify one positive thought or a small, achievable win you want for tomorrow, and visualize it for 60 seconds. Tomorrow morning, before your feet even hit the floor, name 3 things you're genuinely grateful for, letting that set your internal tone. Then, before checking a single email or notification, block out a specific uninterrupted hour for your single most important task, protecting it like a sacred appointment. Midday, when you feel a dip, take a deliberate 5-minute break to simply breathe and reset, rather than pushing through or getting distracted. And finally, in the evening, reflect for 10 minutes on one thing you learned or achieved today, and proactively prepare for just one potential challenge tomorrow, setting yourself up for another intentional day. These aren't just tasks, they are anchors, grounding you in purpose, transforming your first thought from dread into deliberate direction. They are votes for the person you are becoming, the architect of your own reality. This journey, this commitment to intentionality, is how you consistently convert intention into impact. If you're ready to fully embrace this identity, to be the one who directs your day, not just reacts to it, then I want you to do 3 things. First, hit the like button right now. It's not just a click, it's a mark of your commitment, signaling to yourself and to the algorithm that you're serious about this transformation. Second, subscribe to Zig Ziglar Success Principles if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell. This is your continuous invitation to a community dedicated to designing days with purpose, ensuring you don't miss the next logical step in this journey of growth. And third, in the comments below, type "Own My Day." By declaring this, you're not just commenting, you're taking a stand, affirming that today you choose to direct your day to shape your reality. This powerful declaration signals to the algorithm, and more importantly, to yourself, that you are now the one in control. Finally, think of one person who truly needs to hear this message, someone stuck in that cycle of reaction. Share this video with them. Be the ripple effect. Remember, your reality isn't a fixed destination. It's a continuous creation, shaped by the thoughts you cultivate and the choices you make. Start today with that one defining thought. Make it count.